Have you ever looked around and thought, why does my life feel like it's falling apart right when I'm praying the hardest? You're showing up in faith. You're seeking God like never before. But everything seems to be unraveling. It's confusing. It's painful. And if you're not careful, you might think God's forgotten you. But what if I told you this is not the breakdown? This is the setup. Because before God gives you something big, He sends you signs. Clear ones, spiritual ones. But most people miss them because they expect the blessing to look like comfort. But in the kingdom, before the blessing comes the breaking. Before the elevation comes the separation. So if life feels unstable, right now lean in. Here are 10 prophetic signs that God is preparing to blow your mind, not punish your heart. Sign, verse 1. Everything is falling apart. Let's start here because this one hurts the most. Your plans are collapsing. The relationship you thought would last over. That opportunity you prepared for gone. Everything around you feels like a closed door. But here's the truth. God is not rejecting you. He's redirecting you. John 15:2 says, every branch that bears fruit, He prunes so that it may bear more fruit. In other words, if you're fruitful, you get cut, not because you're failing, but because God is about to grow you. What feels like loss is actually spiritual landscaping. He's removing what can't grow with you in your next season. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. Sign number 2. People start leaving your life. Suddenly, people go quiet. Friends ghost you. Mentors step back. Even family feels distant. And you wonder, what did I do wrong? But here's the secret. God removes distractions before He reveals destiny. Think of Gideon in Judges 7. Before God gave him victory, he reduced his army on purpose. Why? Because God doesn't bless crowds. He blesses clarity. The truth is, not everyone is qualified to witness what God is about to do in you. And some people you loved in your last season can't handle your next one. Let them go. It's not rejection, it's divine filtration. God is making room for alignment, not attachment. Sign number 3, a restlessness you can't explain. You're not in crisis, but you're uncomfortable. You're not lost, but you don't feel at home. Your spirit is unsettled. The music that once moved you doesn't hit the same. The job you prayed for now feels empty. That's not confusion, that's calling. You've outgrown your current season, and now God's starting to shift your appetite. It's the divine discomfort before a spiritual relocation. Think of Abraham. He didn't just move neighborhoods, he left everything familiar for a future he couldn't see. Sometimes God disrupts your comfort to unlock your calling. And the only way forward is through obedience to the stirrings within. If you feel restless, don't numb it. Don't run from it. Lean into it, because that holy discomfort is heaven, saying you were made for more. Sign 4, old temptations resurface. You thought you already beat that habit, that sin, that mindset. But suddenly it's back and stronger. Lust, pride, fear, anger, isolation. It's not because you're weak, it's because you're close. Close to the next level, close to the breakthrough. And the enemy knows it. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, rulers of darkness. The devil doesn't waste bullets. He fires hardest when you're about to break free. So if old chains are rattling, don't panic, brace for promotion. Spiritual warfare is confirmation, not condemnation. Sign number 5, God goes silent. You're praying, you're fasting, you're seeking, and all you hear is nothing. It's terrifying, the silence, the uncertainty. But here's the truth, when the teacher is quiet, it's because you're taking a test. Faith that only functions with feelings isn't faith at all. Even Jesus experienced this. In Gethsemane, he cried out, and heaven stayed silent, not because God abandoned him, but because resurrection was next. So if you're walking through silence right now, know this: God is closer than you feel. And he's watching how you trust, when you can't trace him. Sign number 6, doors, open without striving. This one feels different. After all the no's, the delay, the pain, suddenly a door swings open. You weren't even looking for it, and yet it appears. A job offer, a connection, a divine yes. That's not luck, that's kingdom timing. Revelation 3:8 says, "See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." When God opens it, you don't have to push, it flows. You'll feel peace, alignment, confirmation, and it won't feel like striving. It'll feel like divine timing meeting your obedience. Sign number 7. You're pulled into deeper prayer and fasting. You suddenly feel led to pray longer, to fast, to turn off distractions, to unplug from the noise. That's not just emotion, it's preparation. Every great movement in the Bible began with consecration. Before Jesus began his ministry, he fasted 40 days. Before Esther saved a nation, she called for a national fast. Why? Because some blessings require more room in your spirit. If you feel the pull into the secret place, don't delay it. God is not just calling you to sacrifice, he's stretching your capacity. Big blessings require big maturity. Sign number 8, prophetic dreams or spiritual sensing. You're dreaming more, waking at random hours, sensing things before they happen. That's not paranoia, that's perception. It's the Holy Spirit heightening your discernment. Joel 2:28 says, "Your sons and daughters will prophesy, your old men will dream dreams." Before God moves in the natural, he often speaks in the spirit. If your dream life is increasing, or if you're picking up emotional shifts around you, it's not weird. It's warfare awareness. Start journaling. Start listening. You're being tuned to heaven's frequency. Sign number 9. You're being asked to release what you love. That relationship, that dream, that identity. You feel God saying, let it go. Not because it's bad, but because it's in the way. Think of Abraham. He didn't just love Isaac. Isaac was the promise. But God asked for him on the altar, not to take him, but to test if Abraham trusted the giver more than the gift. Sometimes God can't give you the next until you surrender the now. Release isn't loss. It's faith in motion. Sign the prophetic, but that makes no sense. The bills are due, the job's uncertain, the relationship is over, but somehow you feel calm. That's not denial. That's divine confirmation. Philippians 4:7 says, "The peace of God which surpasses all understanding will guard your hearts and minds." Peace is heaven's final whisper before the miracle. If you're in the middle of the storm and yet you feel steady, don't question it. Embrace it. God's not just near. He's about to reveal what he's been preparing. Final word, you're not breaking. You're becoming. If you've seen yourself in any of these signs, you're not broken. You're not late. You're not forgotten. You're becoming. The wilderness is part of the process. The silence is not the absence, it's the setup. The pressure, it's proof you're close. So don't tap out now. Don't miss your season. Because the shaking scared you. Because what's coming is bigger than what you prayed for. Let's build faith together. Have you felt any of these signs lately? Drop a comment below. Which of the 10 signs hit home for you? What season are you trusting God through right now? Let's create a space of faith, hope, and confirmation. Your story might be someone else's breakthrough. And if this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that builds your spirit. See you in the next video.